Just want to demonstrate the use of our Easy Step device here. So the Easy Step device has a cuff that's going to go around the upper calf, has a handle that can be removed in many cases for use. So I'm going to unclip that handle, just a little trigger clip here, so we're going to remove that. And then it's got a foot strap as well, and I'm going to remove that with a trigger clip. Okay, so I'm going to remove the foot strap. So here we have just the leg piece here that goes around the upper calf and the little strap that's going to go down to the foot strap. So we're going to place this on first. You'll notice you want this hanging down. There's a little notch here in the device that goes underneath the patella, so you want that just underneath the inferior pole of the patella here. So I'm going to place that right there to kind of center that. And then I'm just going to wrap this around, and we're going to ace wrap and thread this through and then back onto itself. Doesn't need to be super tight, just enough so that it won't slide over the calf when you're up and working with the device. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put my foot strap on. So it doesn't necessarily matter which way you make the foot strap. I tend to like to place it so that the adjustment device here, tab, is pointing laterally towards the outside of the foot here. So this little end pointing out is facing that way. And then you've got your ring here, the D-ring, that will be clipped into. So we're going to go ahead and place this over the foot. And then I'm going to tighten over the foot. I want this over the metatarsal head, so the thickest, widest part of the foot here. And I'm going to tighten this down so that it's fairly snug, so it's not going to move too much, like that. Typically, you're going to have the D-ring centered over the foot. However, if you want to get a little different type pull, for example, if you want the pull to come more, pull it in this way, which typically you don't, because most patients are already doing that. You can angle it this way. If you want, you can move a little more laterally to pull different directions. So typically, though, you're just going to center that right like that, tighten it around. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this tag in, because I don't want it flopping around, and I'm going to bring it back over through the D-ring here, just like that. And then there is a piece of stretchy, flexible retainer here on the webbing. Now I'm just going to tuck any of that free end in there and just kind of tuck it under that webbing just to keep that from flopping around, any excess like that. So then I'm going to take my trigger clip, open it, clip here, and then I can dorsiflex the foot and adjust the amount of dorsiflexion that I want to maintain during gait when they're walking. And then if I do want to add the handle that I can use for assisting the limb during gait over ground or on a treadmill, then I would just add that to the D-ring here so that I have a handle here that also is adjustable in length depending if I'm sitting or standing and I want to provide some assistance with advancing the foot when using the Easy Step.